whites are doing well is because we cheated.
Yeah.
But if you look at the data of Asians, for example, you will find way more Asian privilege than there is white privilege. Asians make way more money than whites. They're way more educated than whites. They are less likely to experience any kind of crime than whites are. They're less likely to die at work than whites are. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, they suffer from a different sort of racial stereotyping.
Well, they don't suffer. They're kicking our ass. Everything you can say about white privilege is more true with Asian privilege.
Asian privilege, I wouldn't call it Asian privilege.
Well, it fits all the criteria of white male privilege.
What do you mean by that?
They get better jobs. They get better educations. No one sees them as threatening. Everything that you can say that whites cheated to get is more prevalent in an Asian society. Okay.
Oh wow, a wokie getting schooled on white privilege? The way they freeze when the facts hit them, priceless.
One thing that you can't do that I can do.
I don't know. I can't make a whole dollar.
What? You can't? Why?
Oh my God.
You're trying to tell me in the military women aren't paid the same as men for equal work?
In the military, up until 2 years ago, women weren't even allowed to do most of the jobs that men
Answer the
can
question.
do.
You just said you couldn't make a dollar. You said you could not make a dollar. You served in the military. Which
Not
is
to mention that people in the military actually get paid a wage, but we're not going to
All
talk
right,
about
guys,
that.
So now we're moving
Yeah,
over
let's
to
talk about.
That
That has
Let's
nothing
talk
to do
about
with
for a
skin
second
color.
that you want to say that
What-
everyone in the military
what can I not
paid
do?
a wage.
It's a feminist
So
lie.
that makes it
Radical
right.
feminists lie, and they also sell. There's so many different ways they sell you your oppression, and she has purchased all of them today. So right now we are on sexism, right? So she's saying that I can't make a full dollar. Yes, you can. If women stop going in,
I bet he got
I'm not
paid
done
more to be
speaking,
here than
I'm not
you
done
did.
Speaking, okay. If women stop going into career fields like fashion and Vogue and journalism,
psychology.
and we start going into fields like
Engineering.
engineering
Business.
and hard academics.
Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk taking down an ex-military wokie on white privilege. Talk about a tag team. Ouch.
Come up to the mic and call me a my face, or are you an intellectual coward and want to shout it from 30 feet away? Come on up. Come on. Call me a racist.
You are a who does not have accurate statistics or facts.
What have I said that's not factual or not true or anything that I've said that's racist? Name one thing.
Yeah.
Black people are 13% of the population and they commit 50% of the murders. You can look it up.
Over, please.
Wait, you.
What's your source?
The FBI, the Department of Justice. You look it up. Anyone can look it on your phone. It is a fact that blacks have a disproportionate amount of the violent crime in their community.
Y'all don't f***ing understand statistics, how you speak on numbers.
Wokie calls Charlie Kirk racist and gets hammered by facts. Watch that smug smile fade real fast.
No, hate speech is not free speech. Hate speech is speech that directly identifies a group and acts as a form of threat. To my understanding, the Constitution clearly defines that hate speech is not free speech, and that if you are harassing, haranguing, or threatening violence against a group, it is not covered under the First Amendment.
Wait, a wokie actually thinks hate speech isn't covered by the First Amendment? They clearly skipped that civics class.
Beat capitalism, we are going to need a party that will organize working people to fight for the demands that we want and to win socialism. Thank you so much.
Quick point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making it very difficult for me to focus. Please, can we just, I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum? It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Okay, is there...
At a socialist conference, a wokie can't handle the chit-chat because he's prone to sensory overload. You can't make this up.
Problems that we have is a vision of government. Right now, there are polls that show that a lot of immigrants who are coming in have a different vision of what government ought to be. They think that the government ought to be bigger, it ought to provide more social services, and they believe that because they come from countries where the government purports to do exactly that. If people aren't assimilating, that is a problem for the predominant culture in the United States, and I think that that's a bad thing. Like, I'm not talking about the cultural mores that make America more fun, make us richer, diet, religious differences, stuff like that. I'm talking about root values as far as what you think the government should do for you, or how social fabrics should be built, or how men and women should treat each other, because that's very different around the world. And if you refuse to acknowledge those differences in an immigration policy, you will end up with a lot of people coming in to take advantage of the fact that it's a pretty freaking great place to live, and then people refusing to assimilate on the basis of that. And in fact, this is what you've seen in Europe, right? You've seen huge populations coming from the Middle East who are not actually particularly ensconced in Western values and creating enclaves in a lot of Western European countries, and this has led to a backlash.
And here we go. Ben Shapiro crushing a wokie on mass immigration. That comeback? Brutal.
Are you taking down those flyers?
Yeah.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why are you taking down flyers that aren't yours?
Because you took down our flyers. The flyers today.
I'm not taking down your flyer, it's right there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm really proud that you can count, but that doesn't mean that you can take down other people's flyers.
Don't care.
Don't interrupt me when I'm talking. That's incredibly rude.
I don't care if I'm rude to you. You're
So
a
you're going to
fascist.
say that?
You.
Oh, you're so nice. You want to empower on
you.
International Women's Day?
Why are you threatened by...
I'm not threatened by anyone. You seem to be really threatened by ideas that disagree with you. And you can't regulate your emotions enough to go to an event or just ignore an event that you don't agree with. You have to, you have to go to flipping off people, and you're covering up people's speech.
Sorry, Snowflake. You can't handle, like, you flipped me off.
Unlike you, words don't hurt me, so you can call me anything you want.
I'm gonna report you that say it.
Michael Knowles' flyers triggered a wokie, and then a female student steps in to give them a dose of reality. This just keeps getting better.
It is a pleasure to be here at the University of Buffalo. Thank you to YAF for hosting. Thank you to the Logan family, as always, for sponsoring this lecture series. And thank you to you. I especially want to thank those people in the audience, because even though they're trying to interrupt the talk, they are showing a lot of bravery for even coming into this auditorium with such an allegedly genocidal maniac. I think it's very impressive. Do you have anything else to say? Just that. Okay. All right, good night.
Trans lives matter! The wokie yells to disrupt Knowles' speech, but he stays cool and completely unbothered. Smooth.
Gambling legal in the city so I can stack my paper and pay for the illegitimate children. I know some people think sports betting is risky, but I got an unbeaten system that can put money in all y'all pockets. Seriously. My system is easy. I bet on the blackest and darkest teams in college sports because blacker the berry, sweeter the juice, and better the jump shot. I also got a sports betting angle that is foolproof since y'all want to let all these trends up in the league. That is full proof since y'all want to let all these transgenders up in the league. I became almost a millionaire betting on Leah Thomas's big ass winning all them swimming meets. And just like these swimmers, my swimmers are strong. That's why I got so many baby mamas.
A guy absolutely roasts a woke city council over trans women in women's sports, using sarcasm. It's hysterical.
Doing is pulling forward the taxes that would be paid later when someone actually sells the stock.
I think that this reaction to unrealized gains is a little funny, given that I bet that the majority of people watching right now are already paying a tax on unrealized gains. It's called a property tax. When the value of your home goes up,
It's a use tax.
When the value of your home goes up, you pay higher taxes even if you don't sell your home.
Your value of your home never moves the way a stock moves, the way something else moves.
That's always the go-to answer.
It's also, property tax is a use tax. You're paying for the schools, you're paying for emergency services. Those are things that make absolute sense.
And sure, and all the revenue that comes in from these unrealized gains taxes and the other taxes in the Harris plan are going to go to creating what she calls more opportunity. It's to make sure that every newborn born in this country gets $6,000.
Using the services.
Well, look, you're arguing that this is some sort of foreign concept that's completely unknown in the U.S. tax code.
It's probably unconstitutional. It's probably, and it was never in anyone's intent
It's not income. It's not an income tax.
Watch an anchor and panelist destroy a Kamala supporter over unrealized gain taxes. The lies are flying, but they catch every one of them.
The only thing we can do now, we've tried protesting, we've tried everything, but now direct action is the only thing we can do. Free Palestine! We will not be complicit in this genocide.
A wokie thinks defacing a building in London will somehow free Palestine? How does that even connect?
Is America an inherently racist?
country?
I think the word inherent is challenging there. If we say...
Fundamentally.
Fundamentally, yes. America is racist to its bones. All of the...
So inherently.
Yeah.
And now for the classic flip-flop. America isn't racist, the wokey says, only to claim it's inherently racist a moment later. Confused much?
So communism fails on when you see someone's business, all the other businesses that are in that industry stop selling. So if we know that that's going to be the result, why don't we use that, the negatives of communism for good? And what I mean by that is use it for a good that we don't want people to have, specifically drugs. We don't want people to have meth or fentanyl, so why not socialize the drug industry so that the government seizes drugs from drug dealers and distributes it to users to force shortages and to basically force a drug famine.
That is a very interesting idea. So what your idea is, because I want to take every idea seriously, is we nationalize the meth industry, and it will be so poorly run, no one will get their meth on time, and there'll be like TSA waiting lines to get your meth. They'll be like super bankrupt. They'll like take every possible federal holiday off, and people will stop doing meth because the delivery mechanism and the production, they'll be like 10 years delayed in making meth, and people will just give it up.
Basically, yes.
That's actually kind of smart. The meth store's only open 4 hours a day. Everyone's super angry when you walk in. You might be onto something. I'm not even being sarcastic.
I think that users would be more than willing to turn in.
Oh, and here's a commie who wants to nationalize the drug industry. Sure, what could go wrong?
If you're here to ask me about the term mansplaining, some people use it, and some people think of it as a kind of feminist term. But feminism is not an organisation. We don't have an AGM. We don't all think the same thing. It's the campaign for women's liberation and women's equality, and as such...
Well, you seem to think a lot has twaddled today, Kate. Certainly nothing racist, and so far, you're the only one who's been sexist tonight. Kelly J, you want to respond?
Yeah, I'd just be interested to know when we talk about modern feminists, where they've been, because lots of modern feminists, Kate included, don't seem to want to talk about the existential threat posed by transgender ideology on, hang on one moment, on women's spaces, on the fact that there are boys and girls toilets in schools and girls don't have access to single-sex facilities, on the basis that we are changing... This is what happens. Modern feminism, the biggest threat to women in this country right now, women and girls in this country, is ideology and the fact that we no longer can define what a woman is without some silly caveat. And we've got men, so actually we might even now have women man-spreading or woman-spreading because they might require this space apparently. And then we've got self-proclaimed feminists like Kate Smurthwaite, who are too frightened.
A wokey feminist gets asked about transgenderism and just runs away from the show. Guess that's one way to avoid the tough questions.
Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris.
Why? Because you're obviously a man, right?
Yeah.
So you're voting for a woman?
Yeah. Is there any difference? Like, why would... Look, I came with two of my friends. They're women.
Well, you're in the friend zone, yeah.
They are in the friend zone.
Yeah, or are you trying?
Yeah, they're my great friends.
Yeah, but you're trying to, like, pursue them, but they're denied.
Not at all.
But they're denying you, so you're in the friend zone by default? Because no guy's friends with a girl. They always have deeper intentions.
Maybe that's your experience.
Me, personally, I've never been in the friend zone, so I can't really relate to that problem that you have, but... Anyway, let's get back to politics. Yeah. I don't know why you took that way out of line. I don't know why you even brought that up.
Blame it on me? Yeah.
Okay. Are you only voting for a female so that other girls will respect you and want you more?
I don't understand how this is your argument.
What do you mean?
I could say, if I could flip that on you. You're a guy, why would you vote for a guy?
Men should stick together.
Straight up misogynist.
Oh, here we go. Blood's trying to get invited to the sleepover.
Yeah?
You know I'm right.
Totally unrelated to the fact.
But it's true, though. You know it's true.
Okay, I'm not.
I mean, is that not true? Where are you going? Don't run away now.
You're just bringing in hypotheticals at this point.
How are you going to run away now, though? I mean, we're having a good combo. Just because you have the height advantage on me doesn't make you, better than me.
I was trying to have an educated discussion with you.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Comedian owns a Kamala Harris supporter in the funniest way. Prepare to laugh out loud.
Piece of shit. That felon doesn't belong in the people's house.
Was he a felon?
He's a felon. He's a convicted felon.
No, he's not.
Change my mind.
Kamala's a felon.
Let's
talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Biden dropped out, buddy. I don't know if you saw the news. Okay, yep. That right there is a typical liberal appropriate reaction. The middle finger.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
How is that disrespectful?
It's disrespectful. Using the woman's first name, but you use his last name.
Using a woman's first name is disrespectful?
Yes.
In what world?
This world, in the United States.
The United States isn't a world, though.
Mr. or Mrs.
So you want me to call her Harris?
Yes.
So calling a woman by her first name is disrespectful.
Be consistent.
You want me to do Donald or Kamala?
Donald or Kamala, Trump or Harris.
I don't think it's that. Don't really think it's that deep. I mean, most people know her. It's not really sexist. Most people know her as Kamala. You don't think?
Say that.
Why? I'm actually a woman. How do you know I'm not a woman? How dare you interrupt me when I'm doing my intro?
Can I be on the show, please?
Of course you can.
Awesome, thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Bert.
Never asked.
An anti-Trumper gets triggered. Wait, addressing women by their first name is now disrespectful? Come on.
To be clear then, in the Olympics, you would have just, open Olympics?
Open season.
Sex is irrelevant? Gender irrelevant? Everyone just competes against each other?
Absolutely.
I would too.
Really? So do you understand?
Well, everyone just can.
Eli, do you understand that by doing that, you literally end the Olympics? It's all over because only men would win. Do you understand that? That's why we separate them.
I don't want to take this down.
Now, hang on. I want Eli to respond. You literally are destroying the Olympics for anyone who's not a man.
Well, that's a very grandiose vision of it, but
not really. Not really. If you look at the times and the results of men Olympians against women Olympians, you will see that in almost, I think, 98% of all the events, men are so far ahead of women on speed, on power, and everything, every other discipline. Women would never win a medal again at the Olympics if you had your way. Is that what you want?
That's very sexist.
Wokey suggests no gender categories in the Olympics. Yeah, let's just ruin the games. Why not? Want to catch Wokey moments in 4K? Watch till the end, subscribe, like the video, and comment Wokies for a chance to win a brand new iPhone 16 or a cash prize. Also, don't forget to check out the next video on the end screen for more chances to win.
I don't personally think
Is conservatism not a box any more than feminism is?
Well, saying that I have conservative principles, feminism is not being a conservative or being a liberal, right? You're talking about an ideology, right? A system you think
I would assume conservatism is also an ideology as well, is it not?
Sure. Conservatism is an ideology. These are the things that we believe. Republicanism, democratism, you could say that everything is an ideology. What I'm saying to you is that I would not necessarily paint yourself into a corner. You don't seem to me like you have any issues speaking up. You don't seem to me like you feel like you're constrained in any way. You're standing up here today. I would offer to you that there's never been a more remarkable time to be a woman in this society. By every statistic, we are doing better than men. That's a fact, right? Men have we are graduating at a higher rate than men. Men have higher suicide rates. That's why I said to you, despite how you're feeling, what are the real world implications that suggest to you that you are somehow beneath men? You might have a personal experience where
we can talk about sexual assault everywhere, in the military, in the home.
So are these the things that you're fighting to end sexual assault?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, great. You don't have to be a feminist to fight to end sexual assault.
You don't have to be,
men and women.
Yeah, I agree. I don't believe you have to
be. It's a great cause.
But it's, of course, a part of the ideology.
Men and women go through that. I just said to him, one of the biggest things that I give to every year is for human sex trafficking. It doesn't require to be a feminist. Now, you seem really committed to it. I've said to you since the very beginning, if you want to be a feminist girl, put it on a t-shirt, wear it, put a hashtag. I'm just telling you, don't unnecessarily put yourself into a corner.
Candace Owens gives a wokey feminist a serious schooling on what feminism really means. She was not ready for that. A climate activist gets confronted for their absurd protesting methods. Spoiler, it doesn't go well.
But even when you're saying, I can never finish a point. What was the point of asking me on?
Listen, because I wanted to hear your view.
So please let me share the view.
But if you say something,
let me share the view. Let the
I know
people
you're not
the
used to debating at universities these days. So let me debate.
Clearly, you're not used to debating because you're not letting me get in.
You're obviously used to just saying what you want to say, and no one's allowed to challenge you.
That is not what happens at universities. I do that for free.
Well, actually, we know that's what's happening at universities. And
when was the last time you went to university, Piers? When was the last time you were a student?
I was a student when I was 19.
Oh, how old are you? That was a long time ago. That is a long ass time ago.
You're being ageist.
Can I say that?
You're being ageist.
No, I'm just saying.
Wow.
That's a fact.
It
was a long time ago.
Triggered. Can you not? No, can you not be?
You're the snowflake here.
Can you not be ageist?
You're the snowflake here.
Piers Morgan's stance on free speech hits the nail on the head. Universities should be places where minds are expanded, not coddled. When did we start wrapping our ideas in bubble wrap, scared to even consider opposing viewpoints? It's baffling that students, the the supposed future leaders, are the ones calling for more censorship. Sure, freedom of speech isn't about being free from consequences, but the point is that ideas, even the controversial ones, should be debated, not silenced. Trigger warnings in safe spaces might sound considerate, but they often become tools for shutting down conversation rather than fostering it. Piers is right to call this out as completely nuts. How are students supposed to be prepared for the—
Piers Morgan in a heated debate with a wokey student about free speech? You know it's going to be good.
It's not correct that there is such a thing as biological. And I'm a historian of medicine. I can unpack that for you at great length if you want, but in the interest of time, I won't.
You've heard what the professor has to say. What's your response?
Well, I don't understand what the claim that there's no such thing as biological sex means. And I certainly think it's, let's call it an error, to suggest that there's some sort of scientific consensus about that.
I don't agree with why Dr. Peterson has been asked to stop abusing students on campus.
To stop doing what?
Abusing students.
I see.
And are you prepared to suffer the consequences that society may deem you need to suffer because of your views?
Yes, I'm prepared to do that. If they find me, I won't pay it. If they put me in jail, I'll go on a hunger strike. I'm not doing this. And that's that. I'm not using the words that other people require me to use, especially if they're made up by radical left-wing ideologues.
And Jordan Peterson, he stands his ground against a wokey doctor claiming biological sex doesn't exist. He's having none of it. Wait, wokey defending a turtle blocking traffic? Only in 2024.
Hey everyone. So I'm seeing a lot of divisive comments trying to pit us against each other. Today I just wanted to talk about unity in our shared experiences as women. Shared experiences like making boss woman moves, motherhood, and just going through things that men wouldn't understand. So let's do this together. I'll lead the way if you follow. Bye everyone!
Shared experience as a woman? But you're a dude. Just wow. For more wokey videos, click on the screen right now.